Greetings, Nelson here today with another instructional video. As always, these videos are for instructional purposes only. Use at your own risk. Today I'm going to be talking about an open source enterprise class Chrome extension. The extension is called Open Screen Monitor, and the intent of Open Screen Monitor is it's an open source screen monitoring tool with URL filtering and policy enforcement features for Chrome. The target audience for this would be instructors, trainers, officer site managers. The intent of it is to do just that, enforce URL filtering and policy for a targeted deployment model to ensure that objectives are met. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to be looking at, again, this is for Chrome and Chromebooks, essentially. I'm using, you're going to see Chromium. I don't know if you can see that at the top or not. I may not have it high enough. But essentially, this is my development environment. Please do not get caught up in that this is not a Chromebook, okay? Now, I want to start off with, if you'll notice the little icon over here, this is the Open Screen Monitor icon. You would deploy these extensions through the Google Administrative Console. I'm not going to discuss that today. Your site manager or whoever at your institution has access to the Administrative Console will know how to do that. Again, the project is open source, so if you're interested in the source code, you can click this link right here and go ahead and give that a try and see if that interests you, that all the code's available, and we are open to improvements and ideas. So again, I have this ready. Think about this as being a Chromebook. Just for the cleanliness of the idea here, I have a Firefox session over here that I'm going to demonstrate to you what the instructor, the trainer, the site or office manager would see. Okay, so this is what the user would essentially see. They're going to see the little extension deployed over here. So let's go ahead and begin. I want to keep this as brief as possible. We use Google's OAuth 2 authentication model. Again, I've already got that mostly done. So if you'll look here, accessible to me, the labs that you have accessibility to are going to be listed right here. Again, that's an administrator for your site's going to help set this part up. We go in here, and this is what the instructor, the trainer, the officer site manager is going to see. Okay, so I'm going to go through this fairly quickly to keep the video short. We've got a little button here that makes the sessions smaller. And if this right here is where the active sessions are going to be. The devices that have phoned home after they've had the extension deployed, and the ones who have phoned home and have the extension deployed but are not active are going to be down here. So active up here, inactive down here. Okay. Positive is pretty self-explanatory there, the plus symbol. Lock all. As a trainer, an instructor, you may want to have the focus of your target audience there. To whatever is distracting them with the internet. So you've got their full attention. You can unlock all of them. So these are kind of the global operations. Open a URL on all, send a message to all, hide all, and show all. Hide all is just for your presentation screen right here. I want to focus on over here too. Here's the change lab. So if you need to change lab and you have accessibility to multiple labs, you'll click here and you'll come back over here and you would pick your other labs that you might have accessibility to. So I want to focus though primarily here today on the side menu part, and this is where we have some policy that we enforce. I'm going to do one more little thing here. If you look here, all the devices that are active in this group are going to show up here, and you can scroll through them. So if you can see, here's the tabs I have open. Right here is if I want to lock the device, just this particular device right here, I can unlock the device, I can open a URL on the device, and I can also send just a message to that device. Let me just hide this one quick bit here and come up here. You can click on any one of these and make the screen bigger. This is an individual action. And if you click the little top bar up here, you'll see a similar menu, okay? So here's the tabs that I have open. Essentially, you click on the tabs that you might not want that device to have access to. Again, you can lock this device, unlock the device, open a URL on device. Show that real quick. Just going to go to fast.com real quick. Let's see what kind of bandwidth that we have at the site that we are working on. When the extension phones home and picks that up, it will open up that tab. and the bandwidth, it looks like where we're recording this video looks to be around 94 meg. Okay, so switch back over here. We can also all cover send a message just to this device. I will tell you that it's not quite as slick on my development setup, my Linux development setup, as it is on a Chromebook. It's very slick on a Chromebook. So you see right up here, it sent the message. Again, it's much slicker on the Chromebook. So anyhow, that's that part. Let's close this back and let's head back over to side menu. We've shown the basic features here on an individual workstation. Let's go over here to show side menu. And what we have over here I want to cover is the lab filter. Again, I talked about, we're probably going to tag this as a release point soon. Again, this interface may change just a little bit, but there are 3 options on the lab filter. And the lab filter is a place for you to enforce filter and policy desires to meet the objectives that you have for the lab setting, the trainer, the site manager, whoever's using this in the targeted deployment. So the first one is disabled. Now, disabled essentially leaves your experience on these Chromebooks. However, your site edge point administrator and content filter administrator has for you. Okay, you have really no control over those things. So what this does though on this one, so whatever you normally have, that's the accessibility you're going to get. Let's go ahead and let's go up here to Picket Fence. And Picket Fence essentially blocks sites matching listed patterns. Okay. So I'm going to do a couple things. Got hello down here, and I'm going to go ahead and put squash down here too. I'm going to apply these changes to the filter, okay? And notice when you make changes, the little apply filter button will appear. Now it's still disabled. Let's go ahead and let's turn Picket Fence on there real quick. Now, so when the extension for the Chromebook phones back home, it's going to pick up these instructions. Okay, so if you'll notice over here, I've got Squash FS already loaded up, and it has the substring squash in it. Okay, but if I go to a new tab and put in squashfs.net, it closes it. I'll do that one more time for you. Okay, now we can go to Google, or we can go to fast.com again, another speed test. So the internet's there, but anything with the word squash in it, it is dropping the URL, dropping that tab from accessibility for the user. So if I go up here and I just search for squash, search for that, it's going to drop that tab. Okay, I'll come down here and Google. Okay, notice how it drops that tab. So that's Picket Fence. You are selectively cherry picking what you do not want access to on your Chromebooks in this lab. Okay, now the other alternative is what's called walled garden. Okay, and a walled garden is just that. It's a garden wall around your Chromebooks. Okay, so in a nutshell, you have to selectively tell it what it can pass through across the wall or through the wall. Okay, and let's go over here. I'm going to put in duck. Okay, I'm going to apply these changes. So now we're running in what's called walled garden. And so nothing, if it doesn't have these words in it, okay, if it doesn't have these substrings in here, again, 1 per line, then it's not going to let the tab stay open. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here. If you'll notice, we have fast.com here open, but it's an already open tab. If I come up here and hit enter to refresh it, notice it drops it. Okay, so I'm going to go over here to squashfs.net. Notice it's passing it now because it is in the authorized words for the URL. Okay, so if you have a specific site that you wanted to let users onto but not the rest of the internet, let's say they're having trouble staying focused with your specific instruction that you're targeting them for, a walled garden is really powerful. Now we've got duck in there, so if we open a new tab to DuckDuckGo, it's going to pass that for us. Okay, that's just a brief tutorial today about how to use the lab filter. This video I hope has been helpful for you, and I hope you have a great day.